Hey guys, it's Julia. So today I am doing yet another tag. I know, I do them all the time. So today I'm going to be doing the reader problems tag. I was tagged by Emma at Emma Books. Question number 1. You have 20,000 books on your TBR. How do you decide which to read next? For me, I kind of just look at my bookshelf. I decide which books that I've really been wanting to read lately. And usually I'll pick out of those, but if I've just finished a really heavy, like, lots of killing, lots of death, lots of violence book, usually I'll choose a contemporary or something lighter. But not all the time. Sometimes if I'm really into that mood, then I'll keep going with that. It really depends on what I'm feeling. I don't have a really nice way of, you know, just picking a book for a TBR. I just kind of go with what I feel like. I don't have like a jar or a raffle or something. Question number 2. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Are you committed? For me, it really depends on the book. Like, some books are just so bad that you really can't finish it. Have you ever done the thing where you find yourself, you're just looking at a book, like you're not even reading it, like you're seeing the words and you're looking at it, but you're not like getting it in? And usually if I find myself doing that a lot, then I'll just stop reading. It might just be because I'm not in the mood to read it or something like that, but usually if I start a book, I will finish a book even if it's really not to my liking. Question number 3. The end of the year is approaching and you are so close yet so far from your Goodreads challenge. Do you try to catch up, and if you do, how? This is the first year that I've done a Goodreads challenge, but I feel like myself, I would try to speed up towards the end if I'm really far away, but if it comes to like December like 15th or 20th or something and I'm still so far away, like I'm 10 or like 15 books away, I don't think I'll try to catch up, just because I don't want to read books just to finish the challenge, and I don't want to rush through books and miss important things just to finish a challenge. So I would probably not try if I was that close to the date, but if I was farther away from the date and I noticed I wasn't doing as well, then I would try to speed up and go faster. Question number 4. The covers of a series that you love just do not match. How do you cope? This is kind of the story of my life. I have so many books that are like mixed between paperback and hardcover, or have different edition like covers on them, and as much as I don't like looking at them, like I spend so much time, I can't even tell you guys, looking at my Stephanie Perkins novels and being annoyed because Lola and the Boy Next Door is a different cover, but then I remind myself it's the same book, and maybe it doesn't look as good, but it's the same book. I'm not the type of person who goes out and buys a new copy unless it is the ugliest thing and I've had it since I was really little. Then maybe I'll go out and get a new copy, but usually I just kind of go with what I got, you know? Question number 5. Everyone and their mother loves this book that you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? I don't know if I bond with people over shared feelings towards a book I don't like, but definitely I walk to school in the morning almost every morning with this group of friends, and they get an earful of something if I haven't been liking something, or if I've really been liking something, if I'm obsessed with something, but especially if I'm not liking something. They definitely know that I don't like that thing because I go on and on and on all the way to school. It's like a half-hour walk to school, and I just go on and on and on about it. So I don't really bond with them, but I share my feelings with them for sure. Question number 6. You're reading a book in public and you're about to start crying. What do? I would just cry really discreetly. Usually I won't read a really sad book in public, or a book that I know has a really sad plot twist in it, just in case of this. And I'm not one to cry a lot at books, but sometimes it'll just kind of hit me and I'll start crying. But if I have to cry in public and it's just coming and I can feel it in my body coming, getting ready to go down my cheeks, I probably excuse myself from wherever I am and go to the bathroom and just cry for a little bit and then come back, which sounds really sad, but it's true. Question number 7. A sequel of a book that you love just came out, but you've forgotten mostly everything from the prior book. Do you reread the book, skip the sequel, find a synopsis on Goodreads or cry in frustration? Well, I will definitely not skip the sequel, because if it's a book I really like, I would not want to skip the sequel. I want to see what happens next. If I'm not reading anything at that time, then I would probably reread the book. But if not, I would find a synopsis on Goodreads and just reread it, just refresh my memory for everything that's happened, and then try going into it like that and just seeing what happens. The next question is literally me. Question number 8, you do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely decline when people ask you? I don't like to decline. I hate lending my books to people because I'm okay with it, and then 3 to 4 days in, I start kind of getting this like need to have my books back on their shelves, and I need them back, and I don't know how long these people are gonna have them. So usually I kind of start freaking out a little bit about it, and then it just kind of gets worse from there. But I don't like to tell people no, because I borrow books a lot and I try to read them really quickly. But since I borrow books, I don't want to be the one who borrows them but doesn't let other people borrow them. Question number 9, you've picked up and put down 5 books this last month. How do you get out of your reading slump? If I'm in a reading slump, I will just not read. I will just stop reading. I will spend my time on the internet or watching TV, and I will just not read. And I know that sounds really bad, but it does work, because then once you get back into reading, then you're so excited to read. You're like, oh my god, I feel like I haven't done this in like 50 years. I feel so great. And then you'll get a huge bout of reading spurt love, and you'll get a great time reading, I guarantee. Take a break, take a couple days off, or take a week, or however long you need, and then just go back into it and be happy about what you're reading instead of just reading for the sake of reading. That is one of the main things. If you don't like reading, don't read. Don't force yourself to do it because other people do it. Read because you want to read and you want to enjoy the story and you want to do that. It's okay if you don't like reading. That's cool. Just don't do it if you don't want to. Question number 10. There are so many books coming out that you want to read very badly. How many do you actually buy? For me, if it's a really new release, usually I'll ask my mom if she can go get it like the day it comes out, and if I'm really desperate, I'll be like, can you go see if this book is here, you know, can you go get it? But if not, I don't like make trips to the bookstore just to get a single book, because A, I can't drive. I have to take the bus or get my mom to drive me, and B, I don't have a lot of money, so I can't really go and get every single new release that I want. So sometimes if it's a really exciting new release and I really, really like need it, then I'll make a special trip to go to like Indigo or a bookstore. But usually if I'm at a bookstore and I see the new release, I'll get it. And question number 11, after you bought all these books that you've been dying to read, how long do they sit on your shelf before you actually begin to read them? So myself, I'm very guilty of buying lots of books and putting them on my shelf and then not reading them for months. Unless it's a sequel for a book that I just finished and I'm still in the mindset of and I really want to read, or if it's a book that is the most exciting new release that I've been waiting for this for like 10 years, I need it, Usually I won't start reading the books that I buy right when I buy them. So that was the reader problems tag. I have no idea who has done this and hasn't done this because I'm doing this tag a little bit later in the game. So if you haven't done this tag, I tag you because I don't know who has and who hasn't. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys and I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye!